makeup.
Were you a lot younger in that photo, Jim?
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Bambaji. I really appreciate that.
That's a
Uh,
nasty
now,
remark.
there's an example. There's an example right there of a projector not being invited.
I was doing kindness
Hey, I'm
meanness.
just
I was
saying,
just,
you were invited to be here. I don't recall you ever being having a speaking role, but that's all right. I'm
oh my
flexible.
God.
I notice I'm
Oh,
the
this
only
is
one
gonna
that
be
doesn't have
awesome.
any hair. So I'm
Welcome,
already at a
guys. We
disadvantage.
already started, as you can hear.
Sorry.
Beautiful. Well, welcome, everyone. This is going to be so much fun. So, welcome everyone to the International Human Design Festival and Immersion. This is the Voices of the Festival. My name is Karen Sherwood. I am your host. And today, you can tell already, we are talking about the lightness of being. We're talking about laughing at your design and the virus of seriousness. So that's what we are going to be exploring today. And we have some amazing, amazing guests today. And we're now at the countdown. It's only 10 days. The live event's only 10 days away, so hopefully you will join us. And I'm getting on a plane on Friday and flying to the Netherlands and meeting Nathalie for the first time. And I really look forward to meeting all of you as well. So, today's topic again is the lightness of being, laughing at your design. So, we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're already having a lot of fun. And again, we are joined by many fabulous, fabulous speakers. And I'm going to have each of you introduce yourself very briefly. If you can introduce yourself, where you are broadcasting from, and really short and really sweet, what you are going to be presenting at the Human Design Festival. So we are going to start with Jim Hans. He's also a comedian as well. So perfect for today's topic. So, Jim, please introduce yourself and say a little bit about what you are going to be speaking about at the festival.
Well, thank you, Karen. And hey, everybody. My name is Jim Hands. They're our worst body parts to be named after, as I've shared before. Uh, I'm a 5-1 emotional generator. I've forgotten the question already, Karen, because I was too busy thinking about myself. I'm a generator that way, and I'm emotional, so I probably won't be able to get back to you until tomorrow. So I'll be over here sitting in my wave, uh, because life. Anyway, um,
What are you going to be speaking about at the
I
conference?
don't really know. I was just told to pay a lot of money, and then they would tell me what to say. No, I basically what I've been trying to do uh, in stand-up comedy, they have this activity called crowd work, where one works with the crowd in front of them. Where are you from? Hi, how are you? And I basically am working on putting designs together and putting them up. It's like crowd work one at a time. It's extraordinarily inefficient. And I'm not even sure it's funny, but basically what we'll do if you want to sit in the hot seat, I'll take a look at your chart and I'll make whatever humorous joke. And again, it's not necessarily a roasting where I don't want people to start crying. You don't want to crush somebody. That's not the point of it. Veronica, that's not the point of it, right? Just checking. You know? Okay.
Of
Yeah, it's
course,
supposed to be
no,
fun, you
no.
guys.
We,
It's
we
supposed to
want
be
to make
fun.
them cry from laughter. That's what we want.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
Yes. So
There we
tears
go.
are okay. Tears of joy. That's what we're shooting for.
Beautiful.
Look, I've seen plenty of people out there very well-meaning talking about human design from the point of view is that, you know, if you don't know your design, you might as well die because you're not going to live properly. And now if you pay me $15,000, I think I can help you. It's like, shut up. So anyway, you've heard of human design immersions. This is more like a human design submersion where I'll just hold you underwater until you agree with me. Really? Isn't that how it works? That's how we do it in America. Write your own joke. That's what I'm doing, Karen. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you guys have allowed me to share, and I'll shut up. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jim. It's so great to have you here. Beautiful. And let's go to Blanca. And Blanca, again, just introduce yourself, where you're broadcasting from, and a little bit about what you're going to be speaking about at the festival.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am from Czech Republic. It's -18 now, so it's very cold in here. And so what I will be talking about, well, I've discovered that the not self starts with the pressure. So I'm going to talk about the pressure of the root and how to work with it physically. So I want to focus on experiencing it yourself. Either you are defined or open, both are welcome, and I will try to, of course, I have to prove myself that I'm the best because I have the open ego. So so I'll just prove it.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much, Blanca. It's great to have you back on the Voices of the Festival, and I look forward to hearing more. Let's go to Nathalie.
Yeah, so I'm broadcasting from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and as you've heard, Karen will be joining me shortly for the first time in 10 years working together, that we actually meet in person and give a live hug instead of a virtual hug. So what am I talking about? So I'm a Beach 5 trainer and OC16, so I will be doing an OC16 experiment, and it will be a lot of fun. So if you look up on YouTube, we recorded, Karen and myself, a little video of what we're doing, and you will see why I'm dancing, because the pentas are dancing, and that's what we're going to do. Anyway, we're going to have lots of fun with the OC16. That's mainly what I'm going to do.
Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome, Nathalie. Great to have you here. And let's go to Bambaji.
Yay! Hello. So I'm in UK at the moment, and up in Leeds in the frozen north, not as frozen as Czech Republic, but quite frozen. And I am presenting on the solar plexus at the festival, and we all know how much fun the solar plexus can be. So we will be having a little bit of an experience. I'm telling a couple of stories, and bring a notebook and a pen because there'll be time for that. And yeah, we're going to dive into how do we communicate the open and the defined, or the undefined and the defined, and it's like, the misunderstandings and all of the juicy stuff. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing live.
Love juicy stuff. Thank you, Bambaji. Welcome. And let's go to Lorraine. Lorraine, welcome.
Hi, everyone. I am by design a 3-5 emotional initiator, manifestor in BG5 in human design terms on the cross of rulership with the 1222. So I will be presenting online the art of human expression, making an exploration lecture on communication and action, the manifestation throat center. And then online, I'll be walking everybody through a few case studies that I've had through my business, Human-Centered Workplaces, as a BG5 analyst, working with leadership and teams, and how I am making an impact with this type of work. Thank you.
Wow, brilliant. Thank you so much, Lorraine. It's great to have you here. And let's go to Brandy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I am we're broadcasting from New Mexico. I am a 6 splenic manifester, and I'm going to be presenting on the spiral of everything. This is the way that I teach people. I'm a psychologist, so I'm super boring, and you'll come to me if you want to cry. Go to Jim if you want to. I will walk you through how to stay sovereign in times of chaos, how to learn how to be the fullest expression of yourself and still say, yeah, it's fucked up, and pass the butter. I teach you how to do that. That's what I'm going to be presenting on. I'm also going to be presenting on 9-centered relating and what a chaos shit show that can be. How sometimes we use this language as weapons, and how not to do that, how to use it as a place to live in your heart so that you can see with the eyes of love. Thanks for
Oh,
having me.
beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Brandy. What an amazing panel. I can't wait to get to the topic. And before we do that, I do want to introduce the reason that we're all together, and those that have brought us together. So Veronica and Lucretia, thank you so much. They've really put their heart and soul into putting together this festival for us. It's why we are all here today. So I would love for each of you to just say just a little bit about yourself and the festival, and then we will jump in. So let's start with Veronica.
Hi, everybody. I'm Veronica. I'm a 5-1 sacred generator here to laugh at my design. So lower your expectations, as Jim likes to say. And guys, it's like 10 days until we hug each other live. I cannot wait any longer to enjoy together the spa, the fun time, just being together, sharing each other, sharing our pains and our joys. And yeah, and then in another 20 days, we will meet with those of you who cannot make it live in Sofia online. So you're truly, truly welcome to share the fun.
Yay! Well, thank you again so much, Veronica. I can't wait to meet you in person, and Lucretia as well. Lucretia.
Hello, everybody. Lucretia here, and yeah, I'm uh, this type where the sacral of the generator is connected to the spleen, so I enjoy a good laugh. I mean, it's really I do agree, as it is said in the books. It is laughter is something that really helps you survive. There's a survival mechanism. So today I had a very serious day, like really too serious. So I'm so looking forward to go to the other side of the coin with today's gathering. So yeah, very, very happy to be here with you all. Thank you.
Beautiful. And again, thank you so much to both of you for everything that you have done to put this amazing event together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for all of you who are live here in our Zoom room, if you have any comments, if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to add that in the chat. And let's dive into our topic, the lightness of being, laughing at your design, and the virus of seriousness. So we're going to start with Jim, and Jim, I am curious, when we take a look at laughing at your design, right, and not taking it so seriously, how do we do that? How do we have fun with our design?
Well, I think it starts by making fun of other people first, right? That's where you get the compassion from, Brandy makes you cry. I'll make you cry too, if but um no, actually, I think when I first saw my design, I thought the thing that struck me, and it struck me since I've given other overviews to other people when they look at their design, it's magical, right? And then but the initial response is, oh, I wish I had this, or oh, why don't I have that? Or I thought I wanted to be. And man, man, it could get really real, it could be a down thing, a kind of a downer thing. And I remember I was this was several years ago. I was taking classes and doing my own thing. I wasn't really talking about human design that much. And someone came to me and said, they said, "Oh, they said something like they were a degenerator." And I thought that's about right. Maybe the first time through, maybe. Yeah, yeah, because I know what websites you go to. It's more of a degenerate, but okay, we'll do it. But it was just like, okay, this information is wrong, and that information, where did you get this? And so that was the point where I was like, hell, even I know that's not right. So and then it was like, so and then I started talking about different things, just very simple, kind of like we joked about before, about whether projectors need to be invited or not, or those kinds of things. Or if, well, I sat in my burning house because no one asked me to leave. It's like, hey, get out of the house if it's on fire. It's not like you're waiting for a response. And I think that really, that lightness of spirit, I think, is what is important. I also have the clown, fool, and idiot gates coming out of my ajna center. Thank you very much. So I'm working with that. No access to the throat, so I'll just go on forever. More of an idea person, not a lot of action. So, and wide split, and then understanding, oh, wait a minute. I'm never going to know what it's like to have an open head, or I'm never going to know what it's like to have an open root or whatever, and to really appreciate the differences. Then you start making fun of them. That's what you do, because I make fun of myself because I think, oh, look at me. Oh, wait. Teresa Blanding was one of my teachers, and I took Living Your Design on this is back in the old. I thought I saw Lasita on the call here. I think she was one of the teachers with Living Your Design back in the 2000s, and and I can't tell you how many times as an emotional generator they said, Jim, who asked you? And I'm so glad you asked me, because now it opens the way. And I just played around with the experiment. I'm a Grinch line, period. So I need, the 16.5. I'm the Grinch anyway. And before we get too far into this, just in case you were at home kind of thinking, what is this? Well, I got out the I Ching and I looked at it for the 61st gate today. Check this out. The way it's set up, it's either occult knowledge, natural brilliance, or pretty good, right? The natural brilliance, it really leapt out at me. It says, a delusion that any inspiration deserves recognition. And I look at who's the main speaker today. Oh, it's not me, is it? Oh, no, it's my big fat head surrounded by all these brilliant women around me. And I'm thinking, oh, great. And then, so a delusion that any inspiration deserves recognition. So I'm enjoying my delusion. And I think you should enjoy your delusion too, because we're all going to die someday. So cheer up. Someone else surely has something better to say. I'm going to throw it out to another generator, or you could invite Bambaji. She'll just come through anyway. Lorraine will probably talk me over anyway, because she's a manifester anyway. She's already hacked my system and it's like moving my mouse around. I don't even know. Oh, wow. The reflectors didn't show up. They'll be here in a month. Never mind. All right, I'm going to shut up. I'll cede the floor. Thank you for asking the question. Somebody take that and run with it.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jim. And since we have such a large panel, if there's any of you that want to step up and follow Jim, I invite you to do that. And if not, I will go ahead and call each of you. So, who would like to respond? Or Bambaji, Jim called you out, so I'm going to call you out, Bambaji. I would love to hear for you, what is the lightness of being, and how do we laugh at our design and not take it so seriously?
Well, as a 61-2 in my personality sun, I will definitely come in on this one. Natural brilliance, thank you. You've got to laugh at it, because there is so much, like you say, you look at it, so many people look at it and just go, oh, but I want to be a generator, or I want to be this, and I have a gallows humor. A lot of my gates are in the quarter of mutation. So, there's a big, I enjoy gallows humor and that dark humor, and bringing that into the design. And it's like, okay, I'm a second line in my personality. I have 11 fourth lines. And it's like, oh, okay, so that's quite interesting. And I've got all and I'm, yeah. So there are lots of things when you start picking a chart apart that you can really poke fun at. Yes, you've got this, but then you've got this as a balance. So, don't get too in your head about this one, because you've also got this going on. And always we can look at a design and pick out some really funny little elements that actually get people giggling. I really enjoy that aspect of doing a reading and getting people laughing rather than crying. I know Ra used to go in when he said with his living your design, and he'd rip people to shreds on the first day and build them up on the second day. And it's like, no, I prefer to get people through laughter and humor, because that really is what resonates. And then that they open up a lot more to that. That's how it feels. So yeah, laugh. I'm so looking forward to yeah, maybe I'll come and sit in your hot seat. Can I sit in your hot seat, Jim?
My 59.6 invites you, I guess.
I got 3 59s, mate. I rise you. You're 59.6.
I got 3 6s. I got 3 6s.
I got 3 41.
6 6 6.
Whoa.
What else?
Oh, I could have guessed that.
Bambaji and I are going to destroy the world when we get together. So cancel your plans, everybody.
I got the 40 line 6. It's like, bye.
Thank you so much, Bambaji. I love it. I love it. Let's go to Blanca, and I know Blanca, you use laughter a lot in a lot of the workshops that you do as well.
Yes. Well, I will tell you a story. I have a friend, and she once brought marijuana with her. And I said, well, listen, I don't smoke. I can't, use it. And she brought also the pancakes. So we had the pancakes, and I discovered my great talent to make a theater of not self. So in the process of of having to process myself, I started to play her not self in the very exaggerated way. And when we had the COVID, I said, okay, we have to really deal with the not self in a way that, it's just let's face it. And I created a shadow and light workshop when I really play the not self of the person in a bit very, kind of theater way. And then I let them to exaggerate the not self and play with it, and also do the constellations playing and things. And when we really have the laugh at ourself and the not self and the true self as well, we can exaggerate that. So the exaggeration helps, to really make it big. And when we make it big, we can accept it. And when we can accept it, we can rise up. And that's what I do. And I love it.
I love that. I love that. And making it big and making it really stand out. I love that, Blanca. Thank you so much. And now let's hear from our initiator. So we have everyone except for an evaluator, but I would love to hear from our initiator. So let's start with Brandy.
I love this topic because the work that I approach is obviously pretty deep and sometimes pretty serious stuff that we get to walk into with reverence. And to remember the movie analogy, that we're all watching and playing a character in a movie, and nobody would go to the movies and watch anybody tiptoe through the tulips for 2.5 hours. That's not the movie we're writing. That's not the story we're making. And I mean, my design, I'll roast it in just a minute, maybe. But we can all roast our designs in bringing together the paradox of our mechanics and our mythology. It's a divine choreography. And if we don't learn to be the laughing Buddha about it, that is the life of suffering. Right? So it is the way of the divine to laugh, to be the laughing Buddha, to get to that point in your design and in your experiment where you see your mechanics and your mythology come together and you're like, holy shit, I couldn't have planned that myself. Like, this is some serious business here. Let's be serious together. And we laugh about how serious the two comings together are because there's nothing left to do but do that. And so that helps get into the inner child. It really helps that inner child heal from the pain of the beliefs that she still carries about being bad, wrong, and shameful about things. When we can see that nobody did this on purpose, actually, it is choreographed in your favor, that your mom hurt you, I'm saying this as a Chiron conjunct sun, orphan, very violent and traumatic childhood. So I'm saying this from a place of growing into seeing what love sees and laughing as a way to survive, not as escapism, but as the path of divinity. So I think the parts work is beautiful because I do that with the planets. Let's take them outside of ourselves and bring them at a dinner party and see what conversations they say to each other. Let's see what shit they talk to each other. Let's see, like, when my 51 and in Mars and Mercury come together with Venus in 21, could come together with Saturn in 40 and Neptune in 26. The entire fucking ego's at the table when I come around. And they are all fighting with each other for the right way to be. and the right power to show. Meanwhile, my open root with a hanging 19 is like, oh no, it hurts so bad. There's this funny paradox inside of me of hurting so bad, but being so powerful. And it's funny. It's funny the way it was designed to come together to support the biggest, greatest me. So anyway, thanks for
Wow. Oh, wow. I love that, Brandy. Spot on. Brilliant. Beautiful. And I would love to hear from Lorraine as well. Also being an initiator, a manifester.
You guys are awesome. I don't use comedy in my work. I'm trying to lighten my own life and load as a ruler with an oppressed mind. How do you give a ruler an oppressed mind? So trying to bypass that to like find the serendipity and stuff has always been interesting to me. But yes, speaking into the seriousness of night of life, I mean, this type of work with human design, you have to do a lot of self-inquiry, discover that self-knowledge, do the self-reflecting. So most human beings aren't like used to this type of work. And it's pretty intense when you start really looking back with focus and attention to catch patterns, to look at behaviors, to understand how you naturally operate. I myself, like Bamji, I have 10 lines, and I always thought I was a networker my whole entire life prior to human design because I have 10 lines. And then come to find out, I have, I'm not a fourth line in my personality or in my design. So it's kind of like you have to laugh at the joke a little bit. These things are always around us, but it's really, like Ross says, we all have, it's a trip, it's a joke. Like, can you get the joke, right? That we have all these binaries and try to just move through it with grace because I'm the 1222. So the binary of my 47, right, my oppressive mind is the 22. It's all about bringing grace to the situation. So I have to look back at my life and then pick up that messy part of the things that happened and try to bring lightness and humor to it because it's the only way that I can really fully accept it. Like, for example, I filed for a Chapter 7 $500,000 bankruptcy of running and operating a business over 10 years around COVID in the beginning of my Uranus opposition. And now when I look back on it, the cosmic joke is that I named my salon Ambiance as an open G. So I was at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people and the wrong experience. And like, you have to look back at it and laugh. Like, what a joke, right? Like, are you kidding me? I was pioneering a company called Ambiance and I was in the wrong place with the wrong people. It's hilarious. So there's like a lot of humor you can find out of it. And I think that when put it on a personal note, it's so healing because there's really nothing wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing to fix. There's so much wisdom potential from this type of work. And if we were able to transmute it in a way that makes it relatable, I think that's what I would like to incorporate more in my work. But my work is pretty serious because I work with a lot of leadership and a lot of team management, and they're all kind of defunct and kind of pressurized. So it's really unraveling those things for them to like have them travel a little lighter, a little easier. And I hope after today's discussion, I'll learn a tip or two from Jim and his way of spitting information out and being inspired by all of you to incorporate some of that into our work, because that's what collaboration is all about. We only learn from each other. And so I'm showing up today and hopefully I'll learn something and contribute something. And I don't know if I'll make you laugh, but that's Jim's responsibility, right, Jim? That's your reputation on the line as a fifth profile.
Beautiful.
You better deliver.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. The beauty of also the third line, one of the things that I talk about in the Profit Potential is your mess is your message. And if you can't laugh about the mess, you don't have a message. And I love what you just said, Lorraine. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Beautiful. And let's go to Nathalie.
Yeah, so let me share you about my mess. So I have the 52.9 is my only my only channel. So it's very pressurized and it got me it knocked me over several times in my life. And so then I'm down behind the curtains and while I'm teaching this beautiful information. So to have the it's an hilarious exactly what everybody else shares, the different parts of it. And then I have a lot of individual hanging gates that are in the support in the tribal circuitry, but I hate the tribal glue. I'm like, it's for me, it's really icky. Like, don't do this with me. Then I go like, no way. So my incarnation cross is individualism, and it says something like um, in, individual beings who shock you with their stance, intuition, or something. I don't have the line exactly, but is not easily influenced herself because I have the 3938. So it's really about there's a saying in Dutch. Let's see if I can translate it, but you probably have something the same that there is a leak where at the plumber's house. That's actually the sayer. So you probably have something alike in English. So that's really what is happening in my life, and I have to laugh about it. It's when I'm in the middle of it, it's very tough or whatever, right? And I shared about it, but um, with that, I'm open about it. I share, and also towards my students, I had to, pause my course and now coming back, but it gives them also um, the possibility to be and to be real and to so me being light and laughing about it myself. Yes, I'm handling it, but I'm also just human, I'm not God or whatever because I have this system. Although, as Jim shared, you can charge 50,000 euros and help and save you, but so that's I think the beauty about this system also. Like you can try to be the god, but you will be slapped in the face, especially 2026 and then 2027. So you will be slapped into the face because it's all about humbleness, and yeah, through that, just showing your real reality, and uh, and yes, like many others, I do use humor and playfulness in especially in the live events that I do, and that helps people land and yeah, and get it. And also, especially for those third lines, but also for us fifth lines, five ones, with our reputation, sometimes just to be able to make a mistake and to how Bamar knows also us, and then we will get the fire pointed at us. But hey, that's what we deal with. So yeah, I love the lightness, and yes, I totally agree with Lorraine that we should give back to Jim to lighten us up a little bit here. So just putting a little bit more juice to it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Nathalie. And yes, Jim.
What? So Lorraine just talked to, she was saying such nice things about me and then said, so yeah, hurry up, get on it, no pressure or anything. This is what the nice thing is about having been in your design for a while. You know how many times I've been burned at the stake? I almost enjoy it now. You know what I mean? I just like, yeah. So, yeah, no, it's been fun. It's been fun. Most of you guys know I taught high school for a number of years, and what I would say probably about 10 or 15 years ago, I realized I had access to students' birth data. When I was out in California, I would go to their personal files for whatever reason. And I found that all of them had their birth certificates there. So, and I went, ooh, I wonder if any of this stuff makes sense, And it was really fascinating to see students who, and I never really talked about it in class too much, but I would talk about speaking in keynotes and very general areas, to find out, oh, wow, okay, the student in front of me who's having a complete meltdown is a projector, B, 15, and C has a completely open emotional center. So realizing, and in a big class, and nothing I was going to say was going to help. So I basically said, I need you to take this piece of paper down to the office, please. And I need you to take the long way. And you got about 10 minutes and then come back to me, okay? So, because it had something to do with math. I taught Spanish. That's the kind of shit that I would have to deal with. But anyway, it's fine. I'm a role model, sort of. Anyway, but getting her A out of my class, which, people like being in my aura only for a little while. That's why this is so nice. Um, but coming back and being able to manage that, the student who always gets up in the middle of my whatever I'm doing now to sharpen their pencil or to, what or tend to the fire behind them as a manifester would. I'm talking here. Um, do they hey, why don't you let me 9 times out of 10, it's going to be okay, but just check with me before you sharpen your pencil or whatever it was. And these were and the other teachers would say, what's your secret? And I'd say, well, Becky's a non-energy being for starters. And they go, what? Okay, never mind. I don't know. I just listen to them. Because really, how can you explain it? It's fun. So this in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a live live laughing at your design here in East Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Not always known for the mecca of open-mindedness and acceptance, but nevertheless, we'll have marshmallows for the people who show up with pitchforks and you know uh torches, I guess. I don't know. But basically it's like explaining to people and really when I've done these laughing at your design things, I've been lucky enough to talk to some people and to really bring them some peace. Not unlike I know a lot of you on this call are way more educated than I am. It turns out just the other day, I realized BG5 was just BG in five. I thought it was a Bambaji thing. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was something that she was doing, and the five thing, and so. But I learned how to spell it. So that's I'm moving towards that direction. But that this has real value, and I'm also in the recovery community too. So as I work with people who are in recovery, going through step work and things like that, to know, oh, this person probably is going to be needing a different approach.
Yeah.
And this is not funny at all. So see, Lorraine, you put the pressure on me that none of this shit is funny. It's supposed to be poignant. I don't have any of those channels. This is more like I have a note here. Clown, fool, and the idiot. That's what I've got. So I really prepared for this. But I have an open ego as well, Blanca. So, hey, man, I got nothing to prove. Are you disappointed? It sounds like your problem. Um, so
Yeah.
you can sign up for my motivational talks on my website. And as I said before, you don't need to use your own credit card. I'll take anybody's credit card and just make sure that I have your birth data, time, and $1,000. I just need the $1,000. I'll make shit up. Hey, somebody else take this over. What do you think? What do you think? I mean, is there any hope? Is there any future beyond? I remember sitting in the profile classes with Ra in Sedona 98, 99, thinking, well, in 2027 it'll be different. I was like, hell, I'll be dead by then. I don't need this. So the
And
joke's
here
on
you
me.
are.
I am.
Oh, thank you,
So
Jim.
cut
And
me
and
off,
I
Sharon.
and I think you have a really good point though too, is that not only can we laugh at ourselves, but we can again not take things so seriously. Like you were talking about in the classroom, not taking it so seriously that there's something wrong, and to really be able to embrace not only ourselves, but also others as well. I know for myself as a 1-3. Um, it can be quite challenging. I need a solid foundation, and yet at the same time make mistakes all the time. And used to make it really, really take it very, very seriously. And the only thing to do really is to laugh at it. And even again in relating and understanding others, instead of being so serious, being able to laugh about it relaxes everything. And yes, Blanca.
You just reminded me a story with my client. She was around 66 when I had her reading, and she was 1-3. And I was explaining how it is that her mind wants the stable foundation, and the trial and error is the body that does it. And she was like, oh, so it will never stop. And like, really, okay. I thought I'm old enough to really, not to make mistakes anymore. And I said, no, it will never stop, but it's okay. She said, okay. And that's what's the point, not to take yourself seriously. And Lauren was talking about business, and I do work in business as well. And what I use a lot is the devil's advocate. Like, it's how do you make it even worse? So, dear generators, how can you be more frustrated in your life? Dear projectors, how you can be, more bitter? dear manifestors, how you can be more angry? And dear reflectors, if they are here, how you can be more disappointed in your life. Just make it and have laugh in it. It's better to be done in groups, because when we talk about how we can make it even worse, we very often find out how we can make it better. So better,
Yes.
not bitter, but better. And that's one way to have a good laugh. How can we make it even worse than it is?
Yes. Because also in the exaggeration, you kind of see, you shine a light on it in a way that sometimes makes it kind of ridiculous. Like, oh, like you
Yes.
can't help but laugh. I love that, Blanca. Thank you so much. Beautiful. And yes, Brandy. Oh, there you go.
I have 4 children. 2 sons of mine are manifestors. And so something I did to play with this, because we had to bring levity into our household with 3 manifestors. We're all ego defined as well. So we had poor generators. So we had to bring some levity into the house. And so it would be the ream of paper. We would say, get the ream. And we would bring the ream of paper, and we would set the little egg timer, and we would have 8 minutes, and we would take that ream of paper and we would throw it all over the house. And what I found was, in that angriness, allowing them to move all of that energy everywhere, they almost always fell into laughter after we looked around and we saw the mess that we had made. I did it with mud pies at first. I don't recommend. 0 recommend. Big cleanup job afterwards. But the paper worked really, 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 really well. And it made such a mess that it made us all fall over in laughter, usually at the end of that 8-minute egg timer. So it is just a beautiful tool, that ability to exaggerate until the energy has exhausted itself. And what better way to do that in laughter, than in grief.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful. Oh, I
That's
love that, Brandy. I love, again, those practical examples of how you can, really highlight it, make it bigger, utilize the energy, anything to kind of get to that point where it almost becomes sort of so exaggerated and so, out there. I love the mud pies. I can only imagine the mess that made.
Oh my. After mud pies, I went to buying porcelain plates at the thrift store, and we would throw them like frisbees in the desert. That was not responsible either. So,
I love it. And I've been thinking about what you said, Brandy, too, about really this is, being in our own movie and being the main character of our movie as well. If, sometimes if we take things too serious, we shut down. We're not open. We don't have fun, and we get smaller and smaller and smaller. Nobody wants to watch that movie.
And I think seriousness is just that fear, or you shared with it the word disease or virus or something, but it is just that fear of being wrong, and it is just fear. I've never not been afraid 1 second in my life, but I still take action, and that's what makes it fun. That's
I love that.
To the fear. So it's not like we can't be afraid, but let's just skip along anyway and see what happens.
Exactly. I love that. I would love to hear if there's anyone else that would like to share, if there's any questions or any comments in the chat as well, or Veronica and Lucretia, if there's anything that you would like to add as well.
I would like to share a very, I think, funny story. Many years ago, I was in ashram with many other people who were there to have 6 days in silence for, looking inside of yourself and healing and transforming and this nice stuff. And then we were having some hours where we would gather all, like, I don't know, about 500 people in one big hall. And if someone would like to go to Guruji and talk to him about his problems in some way, or just write it in a paper or wherever, he would like really look into this problem. And one guy approaches him and he sits in front of Guruji, and Guruji was like, yes, in his child face. And the guy, well, and he wanted to talk about his problem, but they started to smile, and then they started to laugh, and they started to laugh like crazy, and then all the other 500 people in the room started to laugh like crazy, and we laughed for so many minutes. I think we all had like muscle fever everywhere from laughter, and yeah, we couldn't speak about any problems in a way. And
Yeah,
if I'm
like the
not
laughter
careful,
allows it to disappear and to
yeah,
dissipate.
exactly. Yeah. And if I would to be laughing at my design, I could laugh from morning till evening because I haven't seen so many contradictories and such extremes in one chart. And every time when I look at it and contemplate it, I was like, God, I think the purpose of this design is just to drive me mad. Don't see any other purpose. And then I laugh. So yeah, we can see laughter everywhere if we want, and so seriousness. So it's up to us, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Lucretia. Thank you so much. Anything, Veronica, you would like to add?
Yeah, you know, the reason we came up with this topic is indeed because we are so serious in our lives, and the whole world kind of takes things so seriously, and we just forget that there is this inner child that needs nurturing. And what is the best nurture than just enjoying and laughing, especially in the hardest moments? Talking about designs, I have the 13-3. So a lot of times my jokes are a satire. And I also have the 49, so I accidentally cut heads off. Yeah, laughing till, as Brandy said, till exhausting that energy of, you know, it can go both ways. Also an undefined emotional center. So from crying to laughing, at the end, they're all the same. But as long as you let yourself laugh hard and cry hard and accept both parts of that in you, it's the two sides of the same coin. So not taking seriously this life and just seeing the joke, as Ra like to say, the gods like a good joke. And I think all of us are a good joke at the end. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Veronica. And yes, Blanca.
Sorry if I talk too much, it just cut me off. I just have the reactions. A response, as we say in English. I and now I forgot what I want to say. Oh my God. No, every time I've heard Lucretia and Veronica, it's sometimes I use, imagine if we are in the conflict with someone, and I tell in the middle, imagine that we are dead and we are up in the heaven, and we are sitting on the cloud and clinging our legs and laughing. Oh, we didn't understand that by then, because and that also makes it funny. And somebody wrote that he likes crying, or she likes crying as well, and it's as far as it's authentic. And I just want to share how one time it was also through the COVID, and I experienced a depression for the one day, for like really, really depression. And I have a friend who told me a story about Guru who was depressed and got enlightened when he was depressed. And I sank into the depression to the bottom, and in the bottom there was light and joy. It was a very nice experience for me how close they can be, the really, really sadness, the real depression, and the joy being together at one point there.
Yeah, beautifully said. It's the individual circuitry and the muse and going in deep to feel it. And I think when you're laughing or if you're crying, getting to the depths of what the emotion is to be able to release it. And like Brandy said, even if it's throwing papers around or mud pies or dishes, to have a way to be able to release that energy. I would love to hear from Bambaji if there's anything that you would like to add.
Well, I'm hoping we can have mud pies in Sofia because that could be a lot of fun. I think, I could really introduce that into my solar plexus thing. I mean, we really work with that. And I think the whole thing, yes, about laughing at yourself. When I look at my Chiron, because I've just got one channel in my natal design, I've just got that 3740. In my Chiron, I have altogether, it brings me 11 channels and every center, and I become a 6-3 instead of a 2-4. And you look at that and you think, holy shit. How the hell do I navigate this? And it can be, it's like you just gotta find your humor through it. Otherwise, it can take you to a very dark place. But I agree about the laughter and the crying. And I also do the crying thing. I listen to very sad music sometimes if my wave just needs to go a little bit further down somehow, and I just need to come out the other side of it. I'll do that, or I'll watch a sad film or a zombie film, whatever works really. But sometimes, I like the zombie. Jane Austen, the zombie did Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies is a fantastic film. But not anyway. Anyway, that's a different subject. But yes, thank you. I really enjoyed this discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bambaji. And Lorraine, I don't know if there's anything that you would like to add as well.
I'm a hot mess. I'm a 3-5 and I'm a ruler, so people look at me and they project on me all the time. And I'm like, I'm a hot mess express. I say that all the time. I was like, if you think I'm gonna save you, I might not, I might, who knows? So I try, that's more on a casual approach because I mean, those are the projections that I get. And that's the way that I kind of deal with that. Which one am I going to accept or not? But let me just pause it for a little bit. I always tell everybody that I'm a baby manifester, just learning how to walk like a giraffe, just landing and just learning how to use all this energy in this body. Like, hold your projections because it might not be what you think it's going to be. I'm in no control of it. I just show up and I try to do the best I can.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. And yes, Lucretia. And then I'd also love to hear from Nathalie as well as we're wrapping things up.
I was remembering like listening to you all about my favorite comedian George Carlin, who has his son, by the way, in Gate 49. And he would slay really masterfully, but in the same way, making us all laugh about the human nature. And I think if anyone needs at some point some quick fix, so to speak, like to get out of the trap of the seriousness, just watch some George Carlin videos and you'll be laughing and laughing and laughing, and you won't be able to be serious even about the so-called serious problems on this planet because he tackles that as well. And I would like to quote him: "Have you ever noticed that anybody driving slower than you is an idiot, and anyone going faster than you is a maniac?" This is we humans.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Lucretia. Beautiful. And Natalie, I know one of the things we're going to be doing at the festival is a game as well. So, one of the things to really bring lightness, especially in a business context, is something called gamifications and making it into a game, making it fun. And many of you talked about kind of bringing back that inner child and that inner spirit. So I don't know if you want to say anything about that, Natalie.
Yes, and by doing that, so just last time in Sofia, I also it wasn't a game, it was an OC16 experiment, but we had such a laugh because it was such a mess, like big time mess. And actually going through that and being able to laugh about it because especially they had to organize the network event and they sat down like, yeah, we're going to do an experiment and whatever, and I said no, they actually thought I was joking. I was like, no, you guys, this is the OC16, you are going to organize it. So they and the projector's working really hard, and the manifester being a generator. How do you say that? She was the alpha. Anyway, it was a big mess until like 10 minutes before we had to start or whatever, and then other shit happened, and it was just hilarious, and we laughed so much about it. Also in the evaluation, so that was a day later, and the fun thing is through that, people got it. They got it at such a deep level, like, oh, this is what is happening, and this is how the dynamics go, etc. So that's actually what we're going to do. It's totally different now. We're not going to create an OC16, but actually we are a festival WA, and that is what we will work with. So yeah, we will have fun. We will have loads of fun, and yeah, you've seen us now, and maybe have had a little sense of a feeling. And everybody in the festival also, if you're in immersion, and I don't care if you're a projector, just be there. So everybody can be there because we're at the end of the day, each day. So everybody can participate in the loads of fun of the Bambaji 5 that we are organizing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Natalie.
Yeah, Bambaji,
And
you didn't know, but actually you have a role, of course, in the BG5 experiment.
I might have to trademark that. It's a really good idea. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
yeah,
I'm all over
exactly.
it.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you all for being here, for giving us a good laugh, and I'd like to wrap up. First of all, are there any questions or any comments from anyone here live in the Zoom room before we wrap up? Because I haven't seen the chat, so if there is anything, you can let me know. And if
I wish you a lot of success.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, Lucida.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Lucida. And it is going to be, like I said, both live and online. You can see that it's not only, and I feel like the entire festival is also bringing this levity to really understanding and playing with our design so that we really, like Natalie was saying, we get it at a deeper level, and that we really experience it and embody it and not just quote unquote know it. And so I really invite each and every one of you to come join us because it is going to be so much fun. And so to wrap everything up, I would love to hear from Veronica and Lucretia. Anything that you would like to say to wrap everything up?
Mhm. Yeah. So if you want to join and you thought like I cannot make it, you still have 10 days. Wizz Air has amazing after holidays offers. So if you find excuses in your mind, please guys, listen to your body, see whether you have the response, the energy to move. Just be there, be with us. We cannot wait to have you. And at the end, if you cannot make it live, online is also a great um, possibility to meet all of us. If you resonate to what you heard tonight or all the previous voices, we would love to have you in your pajamas, in the comfort of your own home, just You can make it happen. Would you like to come?
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Veronica. And yes, Lucretia.
Um, I just remember about a person that I met when I was living in London many, many years ago. And this person always like made an impression on me that he's so much grounded in his personal power that he couldn't get, he couldn't get scared, he couldn't get offended, he couldn't get ashamed, he couldn't get guilty, none of this. And he was so grounded in his power and yet so light. So I always when I remember him, it's like my role model. Like if I could get to that, like to be really with this kind of presence, I think this is probably the ideal that could be achieved. And I think if you people decide to come to the festival, you might get to that point, when you have 4 days, 5 days, just with like-minded people and doing experiencing practices that get you there in this embodying, in this grounding in your personal power, then yeah, there will be the lightness of being, and there will be much less seriousness and much more pleasure.
Yay.
So,
Thank you so
will
much,
you join
Lucretia.
us?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Lucretia. And what I would love to see is if we can see everybody on the screen and we'll have Jim, no pressure. Give us a last laugh, if you will. And I would love to just hear everyone, if we unmute ourselves and just all have a good laugh. So again, if you are live here in the Zoom room and you can turn your cameras on, we would love to see as many of you as possible. And Jim, uh, again, no pressure. Give us a
What,
good laugh
Karen?
to wrap us up.
I'll tell you what, Karen, this has been great. I've been listening to Karen for a long time. For those of you who haven't done that, you can listen to a bunch of her stuff and people talk to her and Karen always goes, "That's great. That was a wonderful thing. I loved how you said that, everything." And I had a dream a couple of days ago and I said something in this room and Karen said, "That was terrible, Jim. I don't know why. Why did we invite that guy? What? That's stupid. That's stupid, Jim. That doesn't make any sense." And I thought Karen Sharewood, the bright shiny face of BG5 is just crapping on me. Then I thought, it's a dream. But it was just a very funny thing. This was very nice. It felt very good to have the least amount of hair that all of you. I'm looking around and way to show up, fellas. Way to show up for me. Way to show up for your boy. But here's the thing. I would say this. If George Carlin isn't your cup of tea or whatever makes you laugh, whatever makes you move, whether it's tears or whatever. One of the best laughs I ever got in class. I don't even remember what it was. A student left himself wide open and I answered the question rather than go for the joke. And then I stopped the class because it bothered me so much. This was the response. And I said, "Okay, guys, I was going to say this." And they all went, "Oh, you should have said that." I said, "So it's okay. So if I go for the laugh always, is that and they all 100% said yes. And that was when it clicked. It was like, okay, when the laughter connects, then there's some openness for learning, for opportunity, what have you. One of the best questions that came to mind when I hear people talk, they say, they would ask something, I would have something on the board, and I'd say, "First of all, that's not correct. The answer that you have is wrong. But not only are you wrong, you're also a bad person." So if you and they by this time they know me and then they all laugh and I go, "Of course you're not a bad." You know what I mean? It's just how you look at it and see, "Oh, I could see how you might see it that way." And to appreciate the individuality of people. So man, once, and this is, they told me this a long time ago, once you start living your design, really, truly living it, um, you kind of get into being who you are and embracing what you got. So I enjoyed that. That's not funny at all. It's not funny at all. It's not inspiring. I want to go to Brandy's house and throw a bunch of paper around. I'm wondering, did you just take see, as a school teacher, I'm thinking, okay, did you take the sheet of paper and did you put them everywhere or did you wad them up and throw them? I didn't know. And then I thought, oh, well, then you could get them back and then they could recycle. And I'm thinking, who's thinking about that? No one. Me, my defined head and ajna and open throat. So I can keep going, but Karen, I think that's probably more than what you wanted and probably not anything you were looking for. So I'm here to disappoint, is what I'm saying. So if you keep those expectations, see if your expectations were high, like Lorraine, see, she's disappointed, right? And actually, I love Lorraine. She reminds me of like a puppy on linoleum floor, just running around, slamming into shit, knocking stuff over in the kitchen, you know. So happy to be here. Peas on herself. But that's, I do that. Let's face it. I do that now. I'm at that age. So I'm glad to be here. Cheer up, you guys. And that's enough. God, mute me, Karen. I'll keep going. Come to the thing. It's a good thing.
Thank you so, so much, Jim. Thank you, each and every one of you here. It has been an absolute pleasure. I hope you got a little bit of a laugh and also some ideas of how to take life less seriously, enjoy the movie, enjoy the fun, and hope to have you join us at the festival to really be able to laugh with each other and laugh at ourselves. And thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to all unmute yourself and say goodbye, we will sign off for today and hope to see you at the festival. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, if you want to unmute yourself and say goodbye, we'll sign off for today. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Lorraine.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
I was only kidding, Lorraine.
I love you. Bye.
You're gonna kick us all out?